They have their devices.
Yes.
Oh, they look at he's doing all his devices. He's on it, isn't he? He's doing all his devices. See, this is the power of the resurrection.
Yes.
Oh, we got what we want in our hands. We got a smile on our face. Not one of them. Look at them. Look at them. Turn. Look at them smiling. Look at them smiling. They got the devices in their hand. The power of his resurrection. Yeah. Oh, they can go ahead. Scroll up, scroll down, call mama, call daddy, call grandma, big mom, play some games. They look at them. They're doing good, aren't they? But let the fellowship of suffering. Oh, they good buddies now. But the fellowship of suffering, it comes in while you're in the middle of your game. While you up on your game. You winning, you're anticipating to win, and it comes and snatch the stuff from you. Face looks different now. Smiles are gone. Very simple devices. And that's what happens to us sometime in life. Yes. We're walking in the power of his resurrection. We're playing, we got it, man. We got it going on. And we're talking. But when the suffering comes, when the things that we enjoy the most, we only look at it in another person's hand. Hallelujah. The fellowship of suffering, when everybody is being blessed, and everybody's got this is an iPad, an iPod, this is an Apple right here. This is an iPhone. What's this one?
A charging case one.
What is it?
This one has a charging case.
This one has a charging case.
It's on it right now.
It's on it right now? The charging case. What about this one? What is this one?
That's my mom's.
Is that your mom's? That's an iPhone too? Somebody said work phone. So we got three different, two of them iPhones and one got a charging case. It's some money in this, it's something invested in this. Isn't it?
Amen.
Huh? So did y'all pay for these?
No.
So somebody paid.
Oh, yes.
Somebody paid for this so that you could enjoy it.
Amen. Amen.
Somebody paid for this so that all of y'all can have a smile on your face.
Amen. Amen.
And what's it?
I need a bottom.
And yours at the bottom of it.
Nana bought this.
Oh, Nana bought it. Okay, praise the Lord. He didn't even know who bought it. Isn't it amazing when we look at all that we are going through? Jesus paid it all.
Yes.
And he knows the name of the person who paid for the device. Nana paid for it. We need to know that Jesus paid the price for all that we're going through. The power of his resurrection and the fellowship of his suffering. How y'all feel now if I just take these and keep these? How would y'all feel? I can't.
Because that's my mom's phone.
That's your mom's phone. That's your mom's phone.
And that's Nana's phone.
And that's your nana's phone. And how do you feel about it? You're not sure? Do you enjoy it? You don't enjoy it? You don't like it? Why you have one? Because they have one, right? Because they have one? Why do you have one?
To enjoy it.
To enjoy it. We come to Jesus to enjoy Jesus.
Right.
But all the time with Jesus is not always enjoyable experiences. Joyful occasions. Things are not always coming our way to cause us to smile and to rejoice and to be happy. But if we give these devices back to them, and make sure which one is, this is yours. Is that yours? All right. And this one is yours. Is that right? And this one must be yours. See, Jesus knows what belongs to you.
Amen.
Everything the enemy might take from you to cause you not to have joy and suffering. Jesus knows how to bring your stuff, what belongs to you, back to you. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Back to you. He didn't get it confused. He didn't give him his stuff. He gave him his own stuff, what belongs to him. The power of the resurrection. Now they're back where they left off. There was a small interruption. And when interruption comes, we should not allow it to affect our joy.
Amen. Amen.
When it affects our joy, then our joy is not in the Lord, it's in the things that the Lord provides. Are you with me?
Amen.
Where is your affection? Is your affection in the things that the Lord provides, or it's in the Lord? Paul said, rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I say rejoice. Always means you rejoice. Always.
Amen.
When things are tight, there should be a rejoicing.
Amen.
When you're in a place where you really don't know how you're going to make it out of that place, you ought to rejoice.
Amen.
Jesus sent out, I think it was 70, and they came back. They came back rejoicing. And they thought that Jesus opened up testimony service. They thought he had. And they started telling Jesus, they said, Jesus, you know, even the demons or the devils are subject to us through your name. And Jesus said, you know, I beheld Satan as lightning falling. So in other words, you're not telling me nothing new. He said, now, don't just rejoice because of that. You ought to rejoice because your name, hallelujah, is written. You don't just rejoice when you're getting your stuff. You should just rejoice when you get your stuff back or get new stuff. You ought to be rejoicing because your name, has been written.
Amen.
Troubles are going to come. Trials are going to come. Suffering is going to come. Successes are going to come. Failures are going to come. But can you rejoice knowing that your name, hallelujah, has been written? And Jesus writes the name. You see how they returned back to the game? Haven't missed a beat. But there was a slight interruption. And the devil comes to interrupt your joy. Disturb your peace. And get you off focus and off track. But Jesus, I come that you might have life. With the game or not, you can have life. With the toy or not, you can have life. Yeah, exactly. That happens too, doesn't it?
Amen.
He has his. But you don't have yours.
Yeah.
Can you yet rejoice when your brother have their own and you don't have yours?
Yes.
And the worst thing about it is the joy of having it, but now you don't have it. And you're seeing others with it. Can you yet rejoice? Now he wants to take your game. Now see, this is something how some folk will do. Now because you have it, now you got some good friends now. They want to come to your house. They want to play with your games because you have something that they want. And they may not want you. Hallelujah. They don't want Jesus. They just want what Jesus can provide.
Yes.
There are folk in churches today, they really don't want Jesus. They just want what Jesus can provide. Can y'all give me just a few more minutes? Jesus was a little lad. He decided, Mama decided, you pack your lunch. I'm not sure what time you're going to come back today. But I want to make sure you have something to eat while you're out there. Y'all know how mothers do. Make sure the child eats. So the mother packs the lad's lunch. The lad takes his lunch, mind his own business. He gets into this multitude. And these folk get hungry. They get hungry. And they didn't bring their lunch. They didn't bring their lunch. And so Jesus dispatched disciples to find out what's among us. What's among us? Well, we got this lad over here. He got a little lunch here. Jesus takes the little lad's stuff. Was it 2 fish?
2 fish.
And 5 loaves of bread? Is that right? And he multiplies it. And he feeds the multitude. But when Jesus closed up the shop, some of them turned and they walked no more. Have you seen saints, Christians, whatever you want to call them? Have you seen them when they're being blessed by God? They got a shout and a praise, you can't stop them. I got to praise, and I got to get it out. But when Jesus allows the enemy to come in and to have his way with your stuff, will you still hold on to your integrity? Will you still have a testimony? I'm going to wait till my change comes. Will you tell everybody, I know my Redeemer liveth? Will you tell folk this too shall pass? Or your affection is on the stuff? There are folk who are just walking and coming to church for the stuff. But when Jesus tries it and takes the stuff, allows the stuff to be removed from you, you got your hands in your pocket, you're looking like, what's I'm going to do now? I don't know what I'm going to do now. Trust in the Lord. This one over here, what's he doing? He's still swinging his arms. Because he can see it. When you see your blessing coming, you can go ahead and rejoice.
That's right.
They done called you, told you.
That's
In
right.
3 days, it'll be in the mail. It'll be deposited in your account in 3 days.
Yes.
You go ahead and... But when you don't see your stuff coming, can you yet trust in the Lord, Thomas? Can you yet trust in Thomas? Can you yet trust him? He's not here, you missed your meeting, but can you still trust him that he has rose from the dead? Can you trust his word, Thomas? Doubting Thomas. But when you know it's right here, you can get your little scoot on. Because you know it's in view.
Yes.
You see it.
Yes.
You see it. You see it. And you know you're going to get it back.
Yes.
There you go. Hands off his stuff now. Give him a hand. Thank you. Fellowship of his suffering. Fellowship of his suffering. You stay yoked up.
Hallelujah.
Don't you run to the left. Don't you run to the right. Don't you go back. You in here for the long haul. Fellowship of his suffering. You partner with Christ. As he suffered, you arm yourself.
Hallelujah.
Likewise. If you want to reign with him, if you want to go back with him, it's going to require measured suffering. But how many know that trouble don't last always? How many know that morning's coming? How many know that this too is going to pass? Hold out just a little while longer.